You have Conor deny it. You have Conor's friend deny it. You have the girl that was with her completely deny it. Could Conor have corrupted those two people to lie? Absolutely. Now you have the video. You can't corrupt a video. It's a video. That is where you're going to determine whether or not Conor deserves to pay her or not. What's on the video? So the closing arguments were just heard in the Conor McGregor assault case. And let me tell you something. When you find out that there was a video of that night, and what was on that video directly implicates someone involved in the case and contradicts the story that they told in an official capacity to police, to investigators, to their lawyer, to the other lawyers. If I'm on the jury, that should literally be the very first thing that we go over. You know, depending on which side that it favors. If it favors the prosecution, then that would be the very first thing that I would say is the prosecution. It's like, so just to go over what Conor McGregor said, he said that night he hadn't seen her since blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, and then on video, here you go, he lied. That's a lie right there, right? That's a lie. Or if it favors the defense, well, she said that she tried to fight them off. And here's a video of her riding on his shoulders, laughing and throwing, Mardi Gras beads to everybody. That is exactly opposite of what she said. Things like that. And there is a situation just like that in this case that is more damning than either of those examples that I just gave to the person involved. Yes, I am cloaking this on purpose. You're going to have to hang out for me to tell you exactly what I'm talking about, because in my opinion, it's the most important piece of evidence in this entire case. But we're going to go through all of it. And Conor admitted to, I'm sure everybody's heard that. I mean, this is not like some kind of shocker. If you haven't been able to figure out that Conor's down to party by this point, then you are not paying attention to Conor McGregor. It's as simple as that. But he also admitted to committing adultery. He said it on the stand. I'm sure his wife has known about this for years. She doesn't seem to be super bent out of shape about it. That's their business. Not a big deal, okay? But anyway, so let's go through this case and let's hear exactly what is going on. And let's decide whether or not Conor McGregor is, culpable in our mind. It's not a criminal trial. Not a criminal trial. It's a civil trial. So she's either going to get money or she's not. You know what I mean? And so let's see if she deserves to get money or if she deserves to have to end up paying for the legal fees that she took to fraudulently, levy an accusation against Conor. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. It's not free to watch my content. It just doesn't cost money. Don't be the person that doesn't leave the quarter after you take the candy. You just have to click subscribe one time. It takes 2 seconds. I appreciate you guys. All right. So the civil lawsuit against UFC star Conor McGregor reached closing arguments Tuesday in Dublin, where attorneys made their final pitches to jury. What? Are you all right, Jesse on Fire? No, I am actually not all right. I was in Las Vegas this week. What? I was in Miami this weekend. Oh my God. You guys, my brain is on fleek right now, dude. McGregor and another man, James Lawrence, face sexual assault accusations in a lawsuit filed by Nikita Hand, a woman who alleges the two men had sex with her without her consent while she was intoxicated in December of 2018. Now, I want to make perfectly clear what my personal opinion on this issue is before we get into this, okay? A girl getting herself wasted, drunk, and on drugs, okay? You being in that state does not put any fault on anyone if you, as your intoxicated self, made decisions once intoxicated that you regretted later or that you don't remember or that you think to yourself, man, I wouldn't have done that, but you don't remember exactly what you did. That's your fault, okay? You need to remember that they assaulted you, okay? That's how that has to go. You have to have a firm memory of a violent assault. If you're going to say someone violently assaulted you, you can't play the game that's like, there's no way I would have done that. And you're all, do you remember what happened? No, but I know I wouldn't have done that. Okay, no, you don't. Because when you get that blacked out, there is someone else driving the car. If anybody has ever gotten blacked out drunk, I will tell you right now, I don't need to tell you guys, but anybody who hasn't gotten blacked out drunk, let me tell you, if you see a video of yourself or you hear about things that you did with 10 of your buddies telling you, there's no one home, dude. There is a different entity driving your vehicle. It's very bizarre. I don't get blacked out drunk like that. I did when I was in college a few times. But you are the least reliable person to do what you would expect yourself to do in the world. It's not you driving, okay? Booze is the devil. So Hand alleges the incident took place in a hotel after a long night of partying. While criminal charges weren't fully pursued, Hand filed a civil lawsuit in early 2021. So that is 2.5 years after this happened, just for the record. The trial is expected to resume Wednesday. The judge initially told jurors to expect it to take about 2 weeks. Wednesday will mark day 9 of the proceedings. So Conor McGregor did testify. Okay, so this is all really important stuff. McGregor's time on the stand was split across 2 days, according to multiple reports, including from the Irish Mirror. McGregor has denied the allegations from the start, including a passionate verbal denial during his first day on the stand last Wednesday, during which McGregor called the allegations lies and said the situation has instilled fear in him. I totally understand that. I am going to check and make sure that there is not an actual video of this passionate plea. There's not, unfortunately. That would have been awesome, though, because I bet you that Conor was very, very convincing, because he is a very, very convincing person. On Thursday, McGregor returned to the stand and was cross-examined by Hand's attorney, John Gordon. Now, obviously, that is the attorney for the accuser. McGregor admitted to cocaine use during the hours around the alleged incident, but reaffirmed sex with Hand was consensual and not pre-planned, despite having booked a hotel room. Now, this is a weird thing to say, but this is true. Okay? The more of the yayo that he did, the more likely that he remembers exactly what happened. Okay? I'm sorry if that, makes you uncomfortable if you're not experienced with these things, but that's a fact, okay? The more booze you drink, the less likely you remember things. The more yayo you did, the more likely that you remember, okay? I have literally witnessed many people, actually. I don't know, it's not something to brag about, but in my entire life, I have witnessed many people who were so wasted that they could barely keep themselves together. Someone gave them something that goes this way, and all of a sudden they've got their shit together again, It's like a well-known thing. I've read books about 1% bikers, and these guys who get blacked out, and then they pass out. They would literally stick meth in their nose, to get them to, wake up. You know what I mean? It's a well-known thing. Not that that has anything to do with it. Now, it certainly also obviously makes you way more unpredictable, right? But on Thursday, and then having booked the hotel room. So this also, Hand was consensual, not pre-planned, despite having booked a hotel room. Having booked a hotel room has absolutely nothing to do with pre-planning some kind of assault. That's dumb. Obviously, that must have been the way that John Gordon was trying to present this information. That's a stupid argument. Gordon questioned McGregor about his initial statement given to Gabi, the Irish authorities, during the investigation, and why the UFC had responded no comment to an estimated 150 questions. McGregor responded that he was petrified and took his lawyer's advice. How is that a gotcha? His lawyer says, hey, don't answer any questions. You can't incriminate yourself if you don't answer any questions, right? That's just smart for the attorney to give him that advice, obviously. All right, so McGregor also denied Hand's claim that she had a tampon lodged deep inside her during intercourse. There's no way he could have known that for sure. But what I can tell you is when I read this, I remembered a story that Gabriella told me that is burned into my brain because it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard, about a girl that she knows, not like a good friend or anything, but this girl that was on her team that is a complete whore. And she told her about that happening to her. Having to go to the doctor to have it removed, where it was this was, she was wasted. She didn't remember that it was in there. And then disgusting, especially that it was that girl. But that's a thing that has happened to someone that I am, one step removed from. And it was a consensual situation when that happened. She had to go to the doctor to have it get removed. Okay. Now that might even play into how this whole thing came about. Okay. So a medical worker, and I'm not saying that this didn't happen either, at all, okay? I'm not saying that this for sure is a lie or whatever. I'm just saying, devil's advocate, even if that's true, that doesn't necessarily mean that Conor took it, okay? Medical worker previously testified 4 steps were used to remove a tampon during her visit to a local emergency room. Now, again, that sounds bad at first, but that is something that I can tell you, like I just said, is not indicative of a forced assault versus just a wasted-ass, dumbass girl. McGregor admitted to he paid Lawrence's legal fees for the case, something Gordon used to claim it was a coordinated effort by the two defendants to make Lawrence the fall man. Oh, really? You mean as opposed to you going after Conor because Conor's the one with the money, right? Okay. Anyway, last Thursday, Lawrence spoke publicly on the incident for the first time as he took the stand. And I hear my tone That's only because of the video that I just heard about, okay? Just to make that perfectly clear. The reason why I sound like this is because as I opened this video with, and I said, if there is a video that directly contradicts one of their stories, that should be the thing that gets opened with. I guess you could probably tell which direction that video is going to break from my tone, okay? So Lawrence denied cocaine use on the night of the incident and said he isn't a drug user. This is where we get into the stuff that looks real bad for her, in my opinion. Okay, he detailed how he and Danielle Keeley, Hand's co-worker, who was in the connecting room during the alleged incident, had sex multiple times in one room while he could hear Hand moaning in the other room. Lawrence added that he could see Hand on top of McGregor through an open door and that there did not appear to be any distress. That sounds true to me. Whatever. Lawrence also added Hand entered the room as he and Keeley were getting intimate and cracked a joke toward the two of them. That sounds bad. Now, where is this other girl? Is the other girl testifying on behalf of Hand? Because if she's not, that looks real bad for her. Okay. Now, here we go. This is where she loses me right now. Okay. Lawrence admitted to then having sex with Hand twice. Something Hand stated she has no memory of and only found out through local authorities' investigation. Now, if you're a smart person, that should be damning. Okay, right there, that should be absolutely damning to her case. If I'm in the jury room, I'm going to say, how about you explain to me how she remembers all these details about this thing with Conor, and she didn't remember having sex with the other guy until the investigators told her about it. And the reason that she knows now is because the investigators saw a video of her coming on to the other guy, okay? So that's where we're going, obviously. I apologize for jumping ahead on that. But he says that she tried 14 or 15 times to make a move towards him before he gave in. According to the Irish Mirror, surveillance footage shows the two in the hotel and elevator displaying public signs of affection. Hand claims she was intoxicated while this was going on and was taken advantage of. So just to make this crystal clear, okay? She went to police with went to the hospital with a tampon jammed in her vajayjay. While she's there, she says that it got taken from her and that it was against her will and it was Conor McGregor that did it. And so she makes a report. Why is that notable? Okay. It's notable because she went there with the dude that she was engaged to. Okay, so she gets home, she's got this thing in, she needs to go to the hospital, he comes with her, and whatever. She's got bruises all over her, she was wasted the night before. They already said earlier in the trial, like, she's not an angel. Why would they have to notate that? Probably because they had a bunch of character witnesses that are, oh, this girl is a party girl who is totally crazy. Okay, and again, she did not remember having sex with the other guy. Okay, the other guy only got brought into it because there's a hotel surveillance video of her and him in the hotel and then also in the elevator, which looks very consensual. And then so she has to add him to the case. The reason there's no criminal trial here is because the video destroys her case. Okay? This video destroyed her case. That's why there is no criminal trial. So they went to civil trial anyway, and they're playing he said, she said, but listen to this story. She got exposed. She's like, yeah, Conor did it. Lawrence doesn't have any money. I mean, if Conor's paying for his legal fees, except then she's on video hooking up with the other guy consensually. And she goes, oh my God, I didn't even remember that. They took advantage of me. Okay, so when did you lose consciousness and stop remembering things? You said you remembered that Conor did this, right? That's what you said. You said you completely remember this, that Conor did this. Then they see a video of you with the other guy, and now suddenly you have no memory of that at all. Well, when was that during the night, and how would that not completely discredit you? Your memory disappeared there, but it's like perfect here, but you have no memory of this over here? Come on, dude. Okay? Lawrence said sex with Hand was consensual. She did not seem distressed outside of a brief vocal realization that she had betrayed her boyfriend. There you go. Another reason that she would make this story up. He said he noticed bruising on her hand, though it was not from him. Lawrence said that he and Hand ordered food before he paid for her ride home. During cross-examination, Lawrence confirmed he was the one to come forth and tell police about his alleged sexual encounter with Hand. This came a couple of days after McGregor had given his statement to police. Okay? That's even bigger detail. That's an even bigger detail. So think about this. This girl comes forward. She accuses Conor, right? Conor freaks out. He gives a statement. He calls the guy that was with him, who he knows also had sex with this girl. And he's like, she just accused me of GRAPE. And the guy's like, what? He's like, she just accused me of that. And this guy knows that not only did she bang Conor, she banged him. And so he comes forward and goes to the police and tells them that. Then they go check the security camera and they have footage of her and him hooking up consensually. This is a non-credible accuser at that point, unless I am completely missing something. Okay, so both attorneys had an opportunity to persuade the jury one last time during their closing arguments. McGregor attorney Remy Farrell went first, asked the jury to make a decision based on evidence, not on their personal opinions of McGregor. Farrell repeatedly pointed to Hand's spotty memory of the events and brought up testimony from Keeley that she had not noticed anything irregular. Oh my God, the girl testified against her also. Farrell also brought up the surveillance footage as contradicting her account of interactions with Lawrence. Dude, this is done. Next, Lawrence attorney John Fitzgerald made his final pitch. He pointed to Lawrence's relative obscurity and disinterest when being in the spotlight. Fitzgerald echoed Lawrence denial of being a fall man and brought up Keeley and the surveillance footage as well. Yeah, because that's the end of your case. Hand's attorney Gordon returned and reiterated his client's allegations that she was forcefully raped. Gordon brought up testimony from medical professionals, including paramedic who indicated the scene in the ambulance with Hand after the incident was one of the worst she's ever been on. I mean, that's bad, dude. That's bad. But every other person involved is saying no. And here's the other thing, dude. This is the other thing. Even if like Conor McGregor, like, you wanted to play the Conor could have paid both Lawrence and the other girl. Totally possible. Except the video. Right? Except for the video. So again, even if you want to entertain the idea that Conor McGregor paid off the other two witnesses, which is not an unreasonable thing to assume, the video is the thing that pushes it in the direction that I am giving it. You can't deny the video. There is a video of it. Right? So when you take all those things and put them together, I mean, there's no way to know for sure what happened, but there's no way you can rule in her favor. None. The girl that was there with her is denying her claim. The girl that's there with her is denying her claim. Okay? Her going to the hospital and having a bunch of bruises and all that, I can tell you of situations where you know for 100% sure that the girl did it to herself. We know about that. That's what happened to Trevor Bauer. Okay? Now, if this was just Conor and her in a hotel room, then it would be more likely that, that this really happened. But given all of this information, I mean, dude, if I'm on a jury, there's no way I'm awarding her anything. No way. Now, would I go home and go, man, I really hope I got that right? Of course. But how could you possibly rule in her favor when every other witness there is denying what she said, including her own friend, and you have a video that blows up her entire story? Anyway, that's what I got. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Bye-bye.